Hey guys, Furum here, and today I'm going to be playing Forza Horizon 3 with Shadow Reaper from the Purple Team Discord. He is a longtime player of this game, as you can tell by the 490 by his name, and not too long ago he purchased this game for me as well as the Hot Wheels expansion, which we are playing on now, and so I definitely give him a big shout out for that. And I can say that with the limited time I've spent in the game so far, it is a lot of fun, and the reason why I've been able to become accustomed to it so quickly is because, well, the driving dynamics are basically the same as Forza Horizon 4. The two games are very similar, and honestly I'd be hard-pressed to tell you which one of them is better. I mean, Forza Horizon 4 obviously has upgraded graphics and things like that, but the two games share so many similarities that going from Forza Horizon 4 back to Forza Horizon 3 really didn't seem like any bit of a downgrade, it just seems like another game. But I will go so far as to say that I think the Hot Wheels expansion probably beats the LEGO expansion overall. I mean, it's just so fun to drive on all these big tracks going up all in the sky. And the problem is, though, that some of them have areas where you can just fall off on them like I just did there, and then Shadow Reaper also falls off at some point a bit higher on it, and so this little blue loop-de-loop has gotten us both just on the first lap. Not off to a great start, but we had some really good races in this video, and I had a ton of fun playing these with him. I might play this game some more on my channel if you guys are interested in it. After a transition to the second lap, which I am rather proud of, Shadow Reaper starts to come up on me a bit around these turns, because always one of my biggest weaknesses I felt in Forza games was knowing how to take the turns with the best speed. It seems like a lot of the time, and I have gotten better at this over time, but sometimes I either go too slow around them and then the racers catch up, or I go too fast and then I hit the wall and I get slowed down because of that and the racers catch up. It's very difficult, at least for me a lot of the times, to find the perfect speed and line to get through the turns. And I know that the line on the road is supposed to help, and it does. It's just still, it's very specific at a lot of turns. And Shadow Reaper nearly passes me at the very last second, but I'm able to come in first just barely ahead of him. And if you think that one was close, wait till you see the next one. We were only a fifth of a second apart in this race, and Shadow Reaper was driving a Diablo against my Hot Wheels Mustang. What other car was I going to use? And we are in S1 class here. Now, in this race again, he is also using his Diablo, but in the final race in the video after this one, he is using a 900 tuned Hot Wheels Mustang as well. And so we have basically close to the same performance car. We probably have slightly different tunes in it, but they will be very close. Now, Forza Horizon 3 is kind of coming to the end of its time. There is currently a big discount in the store. It's about 70%, I think, and you can pick up the standard edition of this game for under $10, and the Ultimate Edition for under $30. Closer to $20, actually, and there are still a few weeks left on this deal, so you don't have to make up your mind right away. But if that's something you guys might be interested in, it's definitely there cheaper than it probably ever has been or will be again. I think one reason why I like this expansion so much is because it just feels so unique compared to a lot of other racing games, at least the ones that I've played in mainstream series and stuff like that. I don't know of any other game that has just really crazy stuff going every which way up in the sky. I know you can make stuff like that in GTA, but I haven't played that and I don't really plan to. So yeah, this is definitely one for me to enjoy for now. I had a bit of trouble around those turns there onto the second lap, and so Shadow Reaper, after possibly falling off a bit back there on one of the turns, has now caught back up pretty much, and so I knew we were going to have a very close lap and a half, or I guess the second half of the race, really. Sometimes people ask me why I don't play more other games on my channel besides mainly Asphalt, and one of the biggest reasons for that is because, well, that's what most of my subscribers are here for. That's mainly what they want to see. And so most of the content I upload is going to be either Asphalt or a related game. If it's another racing game, most of those get a good number of views, so I know you guys like watching those as well, but I feel like the further I stray in any game that I play from Asphalt, the fewer people are actually interested in watching it on my channel. So that's really why I don't play a lot of games really that are just completely unrelated to racing. Now I do Minecraft videos occasionally, but again, those don't do as well, and while I enjoy it, they do take even longer to edit than say an asphalt one, and so it's just not really worth it to make those all that often, if you guys get what I'm saying. Now I do want to experiment with other games, of course. I just most likely won't do it too often, although ones that I most likely will do when I do will be racing games such as this one, and I might make some more Need for Speed Heat and Crew 2 videos. It's not due to a lack of liking those games, because I really do like them. I'm just not sure what content people are interested in seeing in those games, because they're so unlike what I am used to, and they don't seem to have the same kinds of, say, multiplayer modes or whatever that Asphalt 9 does. I'm sitting thinking, what exactly kind of videos should I make in those games? So that is sort of where I am at right now, but a couple people have brought up a good point. It's like, what am I going to do after Asphalt? Because I plan to keep my channel going for as long as I possibly can, and it's not unlikely that there will come a day, hopefully not too soon, but sometime when Asphalt either just isn't really a thing anymore, or it just loses a ton of popularity, and so I'll need to figure out, okay, what am I going to do with my channel then? So that is definitely one good reason for me to try to branch out into other games, find what other ones you guys want to see, which ones I enjoy the most, because my channel isn't going to stay the same forever. It's going to grow and evolve and change, as much as I might not want that to happen in some ways, like I don't want to stop playing Asphalt. There are certain things that may be out of my control at some point, and so it's a good idea to have at least a little bit of a game plan if something like that were to happen. So we're on this double loop, which is one of my favorite parts of the track, and I have a lot of favorite parts actually, which would be loops like these, or loop-de-loops, or in general any part that goes high up into the air that I can go fast on. Those are always fun. Now one thing I kind of do wish about this expansion is if it had either a bit more land, or the water wasn't quite so deadly, I guess. Like, pretty much if you fall into it almost anywhere, except super close to land, you're going to have to respawn, and so there's a ton of places where you could fall off and have that potentially happen to you. Now, during races, that's nice, so you don't get stranded off the track, but if you're just driving around the expansion, I feel like it'd be nice to have a bit more drivable off just the normal Hot Wheels roads. Again, we come in super close, and again, it was less than half a second difference. These two races have been circuits, but now we are moving on to our final race in the video, which is a sprint race, again against Shadow Reaper, but this time instead of being in the Diablo, he is in another Hot Wheels Mustang, and he starts at pretty much the same speed I do, because I'm sure you guys noticed in the previous races, the Diablo starts up quite a bit faster than the Mustang here. So although this video isn't necessarily primarily about the Mustang itself, it's just in general about the game, I suppose, since it's the first one that I have made on this game, the first video about it, it would be good, I guess, to give a general review of this car to keep up the tradition, I suppose. So its acceleration is not great. It tops out at close to 200 miles per hour. It's like 197 or something like that with the tune I have. It does not have particularly great handling around the turns, however, its braking is pretty good, and I found that for the most part I was able to control it well, but as you can see around turns like those, it just kinda doesn't turn as much as I think it should at some points. But overall, I've been pretty satisfied with its performance when I've been driving it. Now here, I almost fall off the map. I thought for sure I was going to. Thankfully, I just barely didn't. I guess Asphalt 9 has kind of spoiled me in the fact that, well, you can turn in midair and stuff like that, and Forza is definitely going for more realistic touch or feel than Asphalt 9, and so it would make sense that they don't have anything like that. You see, I've never really considered Forza Horizon to necessarily be arcade because it feels so much more realistic than Asphalt 9, but I know compared to like Motorsport, it still is technically an arcadey game, and especially if you have a Hot Wheels track with dinosaurs and everything roaming around, it's arcade. So we're coming up toward the end of the final race in the video with Shadow Reaper right behind us, and as he passes us on this ramp, I want to give a big shout out to him. This game has been a ton of fun to play with him, and I look forward to playing playing it more in the future. Let me know if you all have any ideas for things I could do in this game or in pretty much any other racing game that I have, or just suggestions about games in general. I'm always open to them. We come in second in this one, but again, it was super close. Thank you all for watching. Please like the video if you've enjoyed, and consider subscribing for more Asphalt and other games content, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!